The Fast and the Furious. Tokyo Drift is the third installment in the Fast and Furious franchise, taking a detour from the familiar characters and setting of the previous films to introduce a new protagonist and a fresh style of street racing in Japan. The film centers around the underground world of drift racing, where cars slide through corners at high speeds. The story begins with Sean Boswell, a troubled high school student with a passion for street racing, who frequently finds himself in trouble with the law due to his reckless driving. After a street race goes wrong, Sean's mother, fearing for his future, sends him to Tokyo to live with his estranged father, a U.S. Navy officer stationed in Japan. This move is intended to keep Sean out of trouble, but it doesn't take long for him to get drawn into the underground racing scene in Tokyo. Upon arriving in Tokyo, Sean feels out of place in a foreign country with a language he doesn't understand. At his new school, he befriends Twinkie, an American student who introduces him to the underground world of drift racing, a style of racing that is vastly different from the drag races Sean is accustomed to. Sean's interest is piqued, and he attends his first drift race, where he meets the local drift king, Takashi, also known as DK, Drift King, who is connected to the Yakuza through his uncle Kamada. Sean's eagerness to prove himself leads him to challenge Takashi to a race despite having no experience with drifting. Han, a close associate of Takashi, lends Sean his car for the race. However, Sean's lack of drifting skills results in a disastrous loss, with the car being severely damaged. Despite the embarrassing defeat, Han sees potential in Sean and decides to take him under his wing, teaching him the art of drifting and the values of the racing culture in Tokyo. Under Han's mentorship, Sean learns how to drift and becomes a skilled driver. He starts to gain respect within the racing community and builds a new life in Tokyo. During this time, Sean also grows close to Neela, Takashi's girlfriend, who has her own troubled past. Their growing relationship further intensifies the rivalry between Sean and Takashi. As Sean becomes more involved with Han in the racing scene, he learns about the underlying tensions within the group. Han is secretly skimming money from Takashi and Kamada's operations, which eventually leads to a confrontation. The conflict reaches its peak when Takashi discovers Han's betrayal. A high-speed chase through the streets of Tokyo ensues, resulting in a catastrophic accident that kills Han when his car is hit by another vehicle and explodes. This tragic event forces Sean to face the consequences of his actions and the reality of the dangerous world he has become a part of. With Han dead and tensions high, Sean decides to confront Takashi and end the conflict once and for all. He proposes a race to determine who will leave Tokyo. Whoever loses must leave town. The race takes place on a treacherous mountain road where drifting skills are put to the ultimate test. In a tense and thrilling sequence, Sean's newfound drifting abilities allow him to defeat Takashi, solidifying his place in the Tokyo racing scene. After the race, Kamata honors the outcome and allows Sean to stay in Tokyo, acknowledging his victory. Sean becomes the new Drift King, earning the respect of the local racers. The film concludes with Sean settling into his new life in Tokyo, having found a sense of belonging and purpose. The final scene features an unexpected appearance by Dominic Toretto, the original protagonist of the Fast and Furious series, who challenges Sean to a race, connecting the film to the broader Fast and Furious universe and leaving the door open for future stories. The Fast and the Furious. Tokyo Drift offers a fresh take on the franchise, introducing audiences to the thrilling world of drift racing and a new culture. While it initially seemed like a standalone entry, the film ultimately became an integral part of the saga, especially with the introduction of Han, a character who would become central to the series' ongoing narrative. The movie's unique setting, high-octane races, and exploration of themes like honor, loyalty, and redemption make it a memorable installment in the franchise. Subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get notifications on our new videos.